The Nightly Business Report.
Good evening. Tonight, according to figures from the Tourism Promotion Bureau, Sri Lanka had a 12% increase in visitor arrivals between June 1st and June 18th over the same time the previous year. In the fiscal year 2024-2025, state-owned SriLankan Airlines reported a loss of 8.4 billion rupees, reversing a profit of 3.7 billion rupees the year before. The Colombo Stock Exchange closed in the red on the first trading day of the week, with both the All-Share Price Index and the S&P SL 20 ending lower. And after the US strike on Iran's nuclear sites over the weekend, which stoked worries of a major escalation in the Middle East conflict, risk appetite took a knock, and Asian stocks fell today. Good evening and thank you for joining us. Sri Lanka recorded a 12% rise in tourist arrivals from June 1st to 18 compared to the same period last year, with India emerging as the top source of visitors according to the data from the Tourism Promotion Bureau.
Sri Lanka's tourist arrivals increased by 12% from June 1st to the 18th compared to the same period last year. The number of visitors rose from 66,522 to 74,570, according to data from the Inland's Tourism Promotion Office. Visitors from India formed the largest group with 22,000 arrivals during this period. The UK was the second largest source of tourists, contributing to 6,158 visitors. China ranked third with 4,789 visitors, followed by Bangladesh with 4,515 arrivals. The steady growth in arrivals highlights Sri Lanka's ongoing recovery in the tourism sector. So far this year, the total number of visitors to Sri Lanka has reached 1,104,373. Tourism officials remain optimistic about continued growth as global travel resumes. Efforts to promote Sri Lanka's cultural and natural attractions have boosted visitor interest. The government is also focusing on improving infrastructure to support the expanding tourism industry.
Harshana Surya Peruma has been appointed as the new Secretary to the Treasury in Sri Lanka. He previously served as the Deputy Minister of Finance and Planning. Surya Peruma officially assumed duties at the Ministry of Finance today. The appointment comes following the retirement of former Treasury Secretary Mahinda Siriwardana. Siriwardana, along with other officials, was present during the handover of duties. He is expected to take up a new position at the Asian Development Bank. The Finance Ministry said the new appointment is aimed at strengthening fiscal management. Surya Peruma is expected to play a key role in upcoming economic reforms. Sri Lanka is grappling with mounting economic pressures as tensions escalate between Iran and Israel. The ongoing geopolitical conflict has led to sharp increases in global energy prices, which are now having a direct impact on Sri Lanka's fragile economy. For further insights, we speak with financial analyst Imran Iqbal from Lanka Rating Agency.
Thank you, Prasansa. Sri Lanka is facing significant economic challenges as tension escalates between Iran and Israel. These geopolitical developments have triggered sharp increase in global energy prices, which ripples through Sri Lankan economy, affecting both national income statement and the balance sheet drastically. The immediate effect of Iran-Israeli war has been surge in the crude oil prices, up by 7.55% in the single day, while freight costs have also increased, as reflected by 9.55% jump in the Baltic Exchange Dry Index. Baltic Dry Index measures the cost of transporting dry bulk raw materials such as coal, iron ore, and grain by sea across various routes and vessels types. Sri Lanka, where petroleum accounts for over 21% total import in 2024, energy import are vital power generation. A 10% increase in fuel prices could mean an additional USD 404 million annual import costs. These rising expenses directly inflate the cost of transportation cost, manufacturing, household energy, putting pressure on the virtually every sector of the economy. Sri Lanka's merchandise exports generates USD 12.77 billion in 2024, representing nearly half of the national income. However, higher energy logistic costs exporters erodes the profit margin and reduces competitiveness of the Sri Lankan global goods in the global market. If export volume falls by 10% due to these pressure, national income could drop by amount USD 1.25 billion, which is 4.75 decline overall.
The Department of Motor Traffic has initiated a new procurement process to select a company for license plate printing. Currently, 15 proposals are under review as part of this process. A final decision is expected to be made by August. Commissioner General of Motor Traffic Kamal Amarasinghe highlighted a backlog of 15,000 vehicles awaiting license plates due to delays since May 1st. He confirmed that the relevant authorities have been informed about this situation. The DMT aims to resolve the delays and improve the efficiency of the license plate issuance system. Officials are working to ensure the new provider can meet demand promptly. This move is expected to streamline vehicles registration and reduce waiting times for motorists. Let's take a short break now. This is the Nightly Business Report. Welcome back to the Nightly Business Report. The Colombo Stock Exchange closed in the red on the first trading day of the week. With both the All-Share Price Index and the S&P SL 20 ending lower, investor sentiment remains subdued amid ongoing economic concerns and global market uncertainty. For further insights, we speak with Akna Tenakon from First Capital Holdings.
Thank you, Prasansa. The Colombo Stock Exchange opened the week on a rather muted footing, reflecting concerns over plausible adverse effects of the ongoing geopolitical tension. The SPI plunged as soon as the market opened today, falling below the 16,800 level. While there were signs of a recovery towards midday, the index slipped once again towards the close, ending the session at 16,765. This marks a reduction of 323 points compared to the previous session and denotes a contraction of nearly 2%. The banking sector and major blue-chip companies exerted noteworthy negative pressure on the SPI, with Sampath Bank, Commercial Bank, John Keells Holdings, Melster Corp and Haley's emerging as the top negative contributors. Turnover stood at 2.5 billion rupees, significantly lower than the monthly average of 5.1 billion rupees. The banking sector was the top contributor to today's turnover, accounting for a share of 26%. This was followed by the capital goods and the diversified financial sector, which produced a joint contribution of about 30%. Thank you.
The Colombo Stock Exchange started the week on a cautious note, closing in the red as investor sentiment remained subdued due to ongoing economic concerns and global market uncertainties. Looking ahead, the market is expected to remain volatile as traders closely monitor developments in both domestic economic policies and international geopolitical tensions. For further insights, we speak with Shahana Kanagaratnam from First Capital Holdings.
Thank you, Prashansa. The Colombo Stock Exchange opened the week on a muted note, with the ASPI declining by 323 points to close at 16,765, accompanied by a daily turnover of Rs 2.5 billion. Market activity is expected to remain subdued during the week, primarily driven by ongoing geopolitical tensions in the Middle East, specifically with the recent involvement of the US and the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. As for Sri Lanka, the escalation will have an impact on oil prices, tea export volumes, worker remittances, and supply chain disruptions, all of which are likely to dampen investor sentiment. In this environment, daily turnover is projected to remain in the range of Rs 2 to 3 billion over the coming sessions. On a more positive note, investor attention is also focused on macroeconomic developments, particularly the upcoming IMF Executive Board meeting scheduled for July 1st, which will evaluate Sri Lanka's fourth review under the Extended Fund Facility. A favorable outcome could serve as a catalyst for improved confidence in the country's economic recovery path. Despite prevailing uncertainties, retail investor participation is expected to remain steady, supported by selective interest from high net worth individuals. Sector-wise, market activity is anticipated to be concentrated in diversified conglomerates, banking, and diversified financials. Thank you.
Gold prices dipped slightly in Asian trading today as safe haven buyers shifted their focus to the stronger US dollar following the US attack on key nuclear facilities in Iran, escalating tensions in the Middle East. Spot gold fell 0.2% to $3,360.11 an ounce, while gold futures declined 0.3% to $3,374.72 per ounce. Despite the slight pullback, gold remains buoyant, supported by strong gains in earlier June due to decreased demand amid the Israel-Iran conflict. The dollar's rise, gaining over 0.3% against a basket of currencies, put additional pressure on gold and other metals. The US strikes, which President Donald Trump said successfully destroyed Iran's nuclear sites, have intensified geopolitical risks, keeping the market on edge. Overall, gold continues to be influenced by the interplay of safe haven demand and currency fluctuations amid ongoing Middle East tensions. Oil prices surged sharply in early Asian trade today amid rising fears of supply distributions following US strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities. Brent crude for August delivery jumped 2.4% to $79 a barrel, while West Texas Intermediate crude rose 2.5% to $73.84 a barrel. Both benchmarks initially rallied as much as 4%, with Brent briefly touching a 4-month high of $81 per barrel. However, prices pared some gains amid uncertainty over Iran's potential response and the White House's stance on escalating conflict with the Islamic Republic. Over the weekend, Washington launched strikes targeting Iran's key nuclear sites, prompting strong threats of retaliation early today. Iran reportedly launched attacks against Israel, intensifying geopolitical tensions and keeping oil markets on edge. The Sri Lankan rupee depreciated slightly against the US dollar today compared to last week. According to the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, both the buying and selling rates of the US dollar have increased. However, the rupee showed appreciation against a basket of other foreign currencies, including those from the Gulf region. Let's take a closer look at how the Sri Lankan rupee is performing today against other major global currencies. A short break now. This is the Nightly Business Report. Welcome back. State-run SriLankan Airlines reported a loss of 8.4 billion rupees in the 2024-2025 financial year, reversing a profit of 3.7 billion rupees recorded the previous year, as lower revenues and reduced costs impacted its financial performance, official data revealed.
State-run SriLankan Airlines reported an 8.4 billion rupee loss in the 2024-2025 financial year despite a 4.09 billion rupee exchange gain. This contrasts with a 3.7 billion rupee profit in the previous year, which included a much larger 26.6 billion rupee exchange gain. The airline's large dollar debts make it vulnerable to currency fluctuations, which have contributed significantly to its losses over the past 5 years. Revenues fell to 299.1 billion rupees from 335.8 billion rupees, with passenger revenue declining while cargo revenue remained flat. Costs such as fuel, airport fees and maintenance decreased, though employee costs stayed relatively stable. Accumulated losses have risen to 615 billion rupees, far exceeding the airline's equity of 213.2 billion rupees, highlighting a severe capital deficit. Taxpayers have injected 9.8 billion rupees into the airline, with another 20 billion rupees allocated in the current government budget to support it.
Aquaspersions Group has entered into a strategic licensing and distribution partnership with Hair Colour, a subsidiary of Heelys plc. Under this agreement, Hair Colour will manufacture Aquaspersions chemical dispersions for latex industries in Sri Lanka, Pakistan and Bangladesh. A state-of-the-art manufacturing facility, the first of its kind in Sri Lanka, is being established in Kalutara and is expected to be operational by the fourth quarter of 2025. Hair Colour will also serve as the exclusive distributor of Aquaspersions' full product portfolio across the region. The partnership combines Aquaspersions' advanced technology with Hair Colour's market reach to drive regional growth. Both companies expressed confidence in delivering innovation, value and sustainable development through this collaboration. Tokyo Cement Group has unveiled a state-of-the-art, fully automated cement grinding plant in Trincomalee, boosting its total production capacity by 1 million metric tons to a record 4 million metric tons annually, the largest capacity in Sri Lanka.
Tokyo Cement Group inaugurated its cutting-edge cement manufacturing plant in Trincomalee, increasing its production capacity to 4 million metric tons annually, the largest in Sri Lanka. The event was attended by dignitaries including Mr. Naoki Kamoshida, Charge d'Affaires ad interim of Japan, and Honorable Professor Jayantalal Ratnasekara, Governor of the Eastern Province. Honorable Minister of Industry and Entrepreneurship Development Sunil Handunnetti praised Tokyo Cement's contribution to national growth and regional development. Mr. Kamoshida highlighted the long-standing partnership between Japan and Sri Lanka, commending Tokyo Cement's explanation as visionary and beneficial for sustainable development. Chairman Dr. Harsha Cabral emphasized the use of state-of-the-art European technology and the company's commitment to innovation and environmental efficiency. He also noted that the project was executed by in-house Sri Lankan engineering teams, showcasing local expertise. The expansion will help meet growing construction demand while reducing reliance on imports, supporting Sri Lanka's economic progress.
Samudi Trading Company Limited celebrated 20 years of partnership with India's Amara Raja Energy and Mobility Limited, marking 2 decades of growth and success in Sri Lanka's automotive battery market. Since introducing the Amaran brand in 2005, Samudi has expanded its dealer network from 50 to over 600, with monthly sales now exceeding 18,000 batteries. Amaran quickly became a trusted name among Sri Lankan consumers, known for its zero-maintenance technology and industry first 5-year warranty. Speaking at a media conference in Colombo, Chairman Gamini Ratnayake emphasized the company's commitment to customer value, market insight and further innovation. Samudi aims to capture a 40% market share with a strong focus on the 3-wheeler segment through the launch of a new 35th age battery. The company also plans to expand its portfolio and raise service standards, reinforcing Amaran's leadership in the automotive energy sector. Pan Asia Bank proudly announces the grand opening of its new Privilege Club in Colombo 7, an exclusive space dedicated to serving the needs of its high net worth clients.
Pan Asia Bank has launched its new Privilege Club in Colombo 7, designed exclusively for high net worth clients. The club aims to provide exceptional value, privacy and recognition, offering tailored financial and lifestyle solutions beyond conventional banking. Members receive personalized service from experienced relationship managers who guide them through strategic financial decisions. The Privileged Club offers access to exclusive products, including customized lending, investment advisory and wealth management services. The space is designed to create an environment of trust, prestige and comfort for its elite clients. Pan Asia Bank CEO Nalin Edrisinghe emphasized the bank's commitment to deliver a superior banking experience. The new Privileged Club reflects the bank's dedication to excellence, privacy and building lasting customer relationships.
DFCC Bank was declared the overall winner of the President's Challenge Trophy at the SLFA Financial Market Quiz 2025. The event was hosted by the Sri Lanka Forex Association. DFCC Bank outperformed 27 teams from leading financial institutions across the country. The quiz tested participants' knowledge of financial markets and forex trading. DFCC's victory highlights the bank's strong expertise in commitment to financial excellence. The competition was highly competitive, showcasing the talent within Sri Lanka's financial sector. This win reinforces DFCC Bank's position as a leader in financial knowledge and innovation. Let's take a short commercial break. Global business updates coming on the other side. This is the Nightly Business Report. Welcome back to the Nightly Business Report. Asian stocks tumbled today as risk appetite took a hit following the US attack on Iran's nuclear sites over the weekend, raising fears of a serious escalation in the Middle East conflict. Japanese shares also declined alongside regional markets, though they found some support from stronger than expected manufacturing PMI data. Australia's ASX 200 was among the day's biggest losses, falling nearly 0.8% despite slightly positive PMI figures for June. In China, the Shanghai Shenzhen CSI 300 and Shanghai Composite indexes dropped 0.4% and 0.1% respectively, while Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index slipped 0.6%. Beijing condemned the US strike and urged Israel to seek a ceasefire in the region. India's Nifty 50 futures signaled a weak start, falling 0.1%, while South Korea's Kospi and Singapore's Straits Times Index both shed between 0.5% and 0.7%. The developments have added to the market uncertainty as investors brace for future geopolitical tensions. Tesla has deployed a small fleet self-driving taxis picking up paying passengers in Austin, Texas, with the CEO Elon Musk announcing the robotaxi launch and social media influencers sharing videos of their first rides.
Tesla robotaxis have picked up their first customers. The firm said Sunday it had deployed a small fleet of the self-driving vehicles in Austin, Texas, with boss Elon Musk announcing the move on social media. A select group of influencers had been invited to take part in the rides, and some soon started posting videos. It marked the first time that Tesla cars have carried paying riders without a human driver. Musk says that's a business that is crucial to the company's future, and called it the culmination of a decade of hard work. Tesla cars were spotted early Sunday in an Austin neighborhood called South Congress. Though they had no driver, they each had someone in the front passenger seat. The automaker says they are safety monitors, but it's unclear how much control they have over the cars. Musk says trips in the vehicles are being offered at a flat fee of $4.20, with the robo-taxis confined to a limited zone. Even if the trial succeeds, experts say Tesla faces huge challenges scaling up in Austin and other cities. One estimated it could take years or decades for a full robotaxi industry to emerge. Musk says Tesla will be super paranoid about safety, avoiding bad weather and difficult intersections. The cars also won't carry children. Last week, Texas Governor Greg Abbott signed legislation requiring a state permit to operate self-driving vehicles. The new law takes effect from September 1st and signals that officials from both parties want the industry to proceed cautiously. Besides requiring permits, it obligates firms to explain how first responders can deal with their vehicles in an emergency.
With Chinese automakers pushing into Europe, Stellantis and Renault are lobbying for a new, less regulated category of small cars with fewer safety features, making them cheaper to build.
With Chinese automakers pushing into Europe, Stellantis and Renault have joined forces to lobby the EU. They want a less regulated category of small cars with fewer safety features, making them cheaper to build. Over the last 2 months, Stellantis chairman John Elkann and Renault's Luca De Meo have engaged in a rare public campaign. Their aim is to revive a small car segment largely abandoned by Europe's automakers as models were unprofitable. They blame that on safety regulations that make the vehicles larger, heavier and more expensive. Lobbyists argue there's no need for certain safety requirements when it comes to small cars designed for city drivers. A European Commission spokesperson said it's looking into the matter. Elkann last week said Europe needs its own version of Japan's small urban vehicles, with size and engine restrictions that enjoy lower tax and insurance costs. He suggested that be called the e-car. The Dolphin Surf from China's BYD hit the market 1 month ago, priced from $23,124. By comparison, the Renault 5, which is similar, though can carry one more passenger, costs almost $5,700 more when similarly equipped. Analysts say the small car segment could rebound with more launches, and S&P Global estimates sales could reach 600,000 by 2030, up about 20% from last year.
That wraps up today's nightly business report. We value your opinion. Share your thoughts and feedback with us through email at feedback.ad24english@derana.lk or via WhatsApp at 076-805-7933. We will see you again tomorrow with the latest updates in the business globe. Until then, I'm Prashansa Gunawardana. Thank you for watching and have a good night.